Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's conversation on discussing the things that we need to talk about that are very disruptive to organized crime groups such as the Kardashians. We want to bring awareness into two gentlemen who have taken it upon themselves in an honorable fashion to expose the people across the globe who have been destroying humanity and the world for a very long time and getting away with it. We first want to start off with, get ready for it, drum roll please. Julian Assange. I thought I would take a little time out as I haven't done a whole lot of work with Assange. However, I have been aware of his workings, and he was born in Queensland, Australia, where he was living as a child amongst the most harshest conditions of communism, manipulation, and sickness. However, even through all of those horrific times and experiences of his existence, he knew that he was not going to put up with that type of behavior because some people are just born with a moral compass to become an activist for the world. They may not even like people, but they know right from wrong. So let me read a little bit about this Assange person, who later in life moves to Sweden, and see where this conversation takes us. We had some exchanges of violence last night as I was watching the movie of Cumberbatch Benedict and some other very well-known actors who are very highly regarded. You may not know their name, but you definitely know their faces, and that's how acting should be. Let's see. He came to national versus international attention in 2010 after WikiLeaks published a series of leaks from Chelsea Manning, a United States Army intelligence analyst, footage of a U.S. airstrike in Baghdad. U.S. military logs from the Afghan and Iraq wars and U.S. diplomatic cables. Assange has won multiple awards for publishing and journalism. Assange was raised in various places around Australia until his family settled in Melbourne in his middle teens. And then I want to go back to this airstrike conversation on the fact that we don't really want to talk about the act of it. See, that's what you all think. The way the mindset of the people that are clueless in politics, it's not about the airstrikes. I know that sounds crazy as you've been trained to believe certain things, but it's about the power overthrows and the instigation of digging in wounds and the soldiers forced to do the things that they're being told to do. So they think they're doing it for a particular reason because they tell them one thing, but they're actually intended behind the scenes to do it for a different reason. And you don't even probably want to talk about it because you'd rather go watch big boobied waterboard boobies of a Kylie Kendall Jenner. That's the weirdest junk Assange has ever freaking seen. He said that's what they used to do to him in the cult in Melbourne. He said he can't believe that you would do that. You're weird. Weird, freaking weird. We would laugh in the corner at you if we saw you at a party. What the fuck? Not sure how they can't connect to the fact that shit's freaking weird. Oh yeah, whitewash the walls. That shit's on film. Oh God. Focus. He became involved in the hacker community and was convinced for convicted for hacking in 96 when I was in 11th grade. Following the establishment of WikiLeaks, Assange was its editor when it was published. The bank Julius Baer documents footage in the 2008 Tibetan unrest and the report on the political killings in Kenya with the Sunday Times. That junk is all on Obama's shoulders. Publication of the leaks from Manning started in February of 2010. Remember when Obama went over to Kenya and pretended like he had a grandmother? And then the grandmother didn't even speak English. And then all these people worshipped him and they just got footage of them crying out in joy. And then he went on the stadium stage and said, go get your AIDS test. It's because he hooked up with a girl in the film who was telling him that was his grandmother. She was like the translator or something. It's on a docuseries, just like Assange. No, it's on HBO. In November of 2010, Sweden wished to question Assange in an unrelated police investigation, and they sought to extradite him. And that's what they do when you're catching on to their criminal crime acts. It's how we never get anywhere with this, is because the power of these people with money put fear in even the police officers. So we're calling it the falling of the Roman Empire, and that's actually what we're watching on the news with what the Democrats are attempting to do to Donald Trump and our gold team as we reevaluate the way we do government, because it's the duty and responsibility in accordance to the Constitution, which is the Declaration of Independence, to, as the world evolves and changes, is that we also evolve and change our laws, not to suit a specific group of people, but to stay true to the articles of Constitution, which give a guideline. So if you're not allowing people to have freedom of speech and you put fear in them, then you're not abiding by the Constitution, which tells other people that it's the way you're supposed to live in the United States of America. And so we know that to be true with what Kamala Harris has done to my platform. So I'm the evidence of how the United States of America is no longer the United States of America. It's an Indian, Jamaican, Kenyan, Pakistani attempt at an overthrow of a country, and a group of men and some women who are fighting to save our culture. It's not only a religious war, but it's a war against evil, because those people of Swiss bank called Julius Baer are freaking evil as hell. Like, it's unbelievable to me. You used to have a diaper on your ass, and you used to fart and shit in your diaper, and you turned into that. Mona Van used to shit in her diaper and piss in a diaper. And so did the billionaires and millionaires, and so did Kylie and Kendall Jenner. And they even bled through their underwear. Now look at them. And that's really what you need to understand, the paramount of what I'm saying, in the form of, we don't live in a movie. Although those of you from LA, like Cooper, that Brett Cooper girl is literally a freaking actress, and she's telling Jordan Peterson how she's a fucking actor. And she literally is telling you that she is a fake and a fraud, and that her mom was a terrible mom, but she can't even see that what her mom did to her was freaking horrible. So she just praises her, and then tries to tell you that your mom didn't do enough for you. But the reality is you grew up in reality, and she grew up in Hollywood, all chasing the feeling of being on stage. So she used those coping mechanisms when you, as influencer and followers, started bashing her in the head when you didn't like what she had to say. And then she acted as if that was bringing her power. And then she started acting this way and acting that way. And now we're back to Julia and Assange. Julius Baer Swiss accounts are unethical